Hey everybody, it's Garrett. It's been about a month since I got back from Brazil, and I wanted to go over something that I wasn't able to cover too heavily in that series, and that is the scavenger hunt that my kids gave me. It was a lot of fun being able to search all over Brazil for these items, and we'll see if I was able to get all of them during this trip. Also, you might wonder, where am I at right now? Because it's definitely not Brazil. Let me show you a quick video of where I'm currently camping. This area is so beautiful. As a kid, I would come out here to go camping. I've absolutely enjoyed it. I'm out here camping with my family for a few days. Let's get into the scavenger hunt. So how many items did I have to find on this international trip? Well, the kids gave me 20 items that I had to find in 2.5 weeks. And let me tell you, some of them were pretty stinking hard to find. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down this list one at a time and just talk a little bit about each one. The first one on the list was locals playing soccer. Because it was winter, that meant that pretty much all the locals were not out playing soccer and having fun outside, mainly because it was too darn cold for them. Now for me, it was very comfortable, but also I'm from the United States, and so the weather is just a little bit different in Brazil. But I was able to find some pretty cool shots of some locals playing soccer. Number 2 is Christ the Redeemer. Now, when the majority of people think of Christ the Redeemer, they think of this. And this is in Rio de Janeiro, and that is not an area that we traveled to while we were in Brazil. However, there are Christ the Redeemers all over the country. And I was able to find one in Corumbá. Number 3 on my list is a beautiful sunset. Now this one, there were so many amazing sunsets that I was able to experience, and I was so glad to be able to see some of these really unique sunsets. Next is a mud hut. This one was a little tricky to find. I kind of had to fudge it just a little bit. The main reason being is we were not in an area that had mud huts. We weren't in a tribal area or a place where people used mud to build their houses. They're mostly built out of brick and concrete. But we were at a wildlife preserve, and at one point I saw a hut that kind of mimicked a mud hut, so I figured this is close enough. Number 5, parakeet. Now, while we were at this wildlife preserve, we actually saw all kinds of amazing birds, and parakeets were one of those. It was really fun to see all these really cool birds, including number 6, which was a macaw. All right, next on the list is a capybara. If you don't know, capybaras are the largest rodent in the world. They're very docile. They're huge, big lumps of furry ratness. They're not aggressive. They're very docile, simple, easy animals. We saw a bunch of them while we were on our jungle cruise at the Jungle Lodge. Number 8 is a piranha. A little story for the piranha. I was hoping to be able to actually go fishing for piranhas at the Jungle Lodge. But because of the weather and just our schedule, we didn't have time to go and fish for piranha, so I wasn't able to actually catch one to show you. But we were able to find a piranha at this fish aquarium. Next on the list was one that I thought might be the hardest, if not impossible, to find, and that was a jaguar. Now, jaguars are very elusive animals. They don't like to be around humans. They scare off easily. However, we got to see one within 24 hours of arriving in Brazil. I was on a boat in a night spotlight cruise at the Jungle Lodge, and we saw a a jaguar get out of the water. It was incredible. All right, we're gonna change it up a little bit. Number 10 is pão de queijo. Now, pão de queijo is basically cheese bread. It's a very unique dish in Brazil, and it's pretty darn good. Number 11, many people consider Guaraná to be like the national drink. It's made in Brazil, it was invented in Brazil. It is one of those drinks that almost everybody has available at restaurants, or many people have it when you're eating over with friends. Number 12 is a pineapple. I didn't see too many pineapples like growing out in the wild. We weren't in areas that they were just overgrowing, but I did stop by a supermarket and was able to find a pineapple and pineapple juice on the shelf. Number 13 was a coconut. This was a lot of fun to find because at Falls Iguaçu, which is a national park, they actually have these coconut waters that are branded with the national park logo. So it was a lot of fun to be able to buy a chilled coconut water, and they hand you this coconut, they chop off the top, they hand you a straw, and boom, coconut water. Next was a boa constrictor. Did not see a boa constrictor in the wild, but we did see one at that wildlife preserve. Number 15, American restaurant. Now, on its face, I'm trying to find an American restaurant in a foreign country. You might think, oh, is that even possible? Unfortunately, Brazil is covered with fast food restaurants. We saw McDonald's everywhere. I think one of the airports, São Paulo airport, had 8 Subway restaurants in the airport. And everywhere we were going, there was a lot of American style fast food restaurants. Next on the list was a kids playground. I did find this really cool playground at the Portland airport, but because it was so early on in the trip, I was like, I'll take a picture of it just in case I can't find a playground. I did end up finding this playground on one of the beach towns in Florianopolis. Number 17, oof, we're getting to the end, guys, is a beach. Now, we were on an island for 5 or 6 days, and there were beaches absolutely everywhere. And this is one of them. And this was another one. There were just beaches everywhere, and they were amazing, all of them. Number 18 was an avocado. Now, this should have been a simple one to find. However, I didn't actually find one, mainly because I was trying to think of all the things that I had to find, and when I was eating and when we were at grocery stores, I just never thought to keep my eye out for an avocado. But here's a picture that my mom took of an avocado. I'll give myself half a point for that one. Number 19 is a tall palm tree. Now, most of the areas we traveled while we were in Brazil were not really known for having lots of palm trees. They're a lot more similar to like what you see here. Paraná pines, we saw a lot of those, and we saw a lot of other types of shrubbery and bushes and all that. Now, we did see this large grove of palm trees while on one of the jungle cruises at the Jungle Lodge. Now, number 20 is my little son Eddie's favorite thing in the world, and that was a cat. Yeah, there were cats everywhere. So that was my scavenger hunt. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to make this trip as unique and enjoyable as possible. I know my kids are gonna love going through this list, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you haven't watched all my videos, I'll go ahead and make a playlist that you guys can actually enjoy as well, and I'll leave that link down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video.